Hello, in this video we're going to look at part 7 of the Reading and Use of English paper in the Cambridge First for Schools exam. Part 7 is the multiple matching task and it's the last part in the Reading and Use of English paper. And because it's the last part, it's probably the part where you'll have to rush and work the quickest. But I have an idea that can help people who really are running out of time when they come to this task. Now, as with all reading activities, Cambridge recommend that you read the texts before you begin. But really there isn't going to be time for that sort of thing. So I recommend that you read text A first, and then look at each of the questions on the other side. Try to find the ones that are connected to text A. Then move on to text B, read the questions again. And text C, read the questions again. Now if you've done this well, and if you've been a little bit lucky, let's say, when you get to text D, if D is the last one, if you don't have time to do it, well, by a process of elimination, these are the answers that are left. Likewise, if text E is the last one, you'll be able to put E in the place. So, like with the other parts of the reading test, we're looking for synonymous expressions. You'll have a bit of language on the one side where it says which person is trying to do something, for example. In the text, it won't say exactly that. It will use an equivalent expression. We'll see some examples of that in a moment. Watch out for distractors. Cambridge love their distractors, especially things like but, or when they show something that you think must be true, but then the writer contradicts it. They say the other way. As always, underline where you find the answers and write the question number next to it as you're going through. And remember, for this task, the questions are not going to appear in the same order in the text. So for example, the answer for question 50 might be at the start of A, but the answer for question 45 might be at the end of A. Anything can happen in this part of the test. So if you follow the link in the description at the bottom of this video, you'll find the PDF we've been using, and turn to page 26 of that file, you'll find the multiple matching exercise about young environmentalists. So have a go at that now, and then when you're ready, come back and we'll look at the answers together. Okay, so let's have a look through the answers. So first we look at A, Lucy Walker. And the first answer we get here is number 45. She says that she was motivated by a desire to share her enthusiasm. How do we find this? At the end of the text for A, it says, I did it because I have a great love for the outdoors and being in the midst of wildlife. So this great love is the desire to share their enthusiasm. The next one we have for A is number 48. So for 48 it says, received public recognition for their environmental contribution, and it says right at the start, I won a national award. So public recognition there is the award. And then we also find 51, which is helped create a place that reflected her values, and it's I wanted other young people to be able to experience the same passion that I feel. So that's this idea here, the connection. So if we have a look at B then, Justin Day, the first answer we get is number 47. He selected something because it was relatively straightforward to deal with. And towards the end, he talks about our focus has been mainly on a plant called Dalmatian toadflax, which is easier to pull up. So that easier shows that we have a connection with straightforward. The next one for B is number 50. So in number 50 it says, mention someone whose expert knowledge highlighted a problem, and that's my sister, a naturalist. That's near the start of this text. And then for 52, we have, they mentioned having to gain consent, and I had to get permission from the local council. So to gain consent means to get permission. So we have those equivalent or synonymous expressions. Moving to C with Josh Benito, the first answer we have is number 44, which is being followed up a talk by offering an opportunity for practical action. So he says, first, I gave a presentation, then each of the 300 pupils was given 2 young trees. So there is that explanation of the point. We also want number 46. It says, believes that an idea they came up with worked well. And he says, I think the project was an effective way of getting the message across. So then finally for D, if we've followed that technique I showed earlier, the only spaces left for D would be numbers 43 and 49. And those are actually the answers this time. For number 43, she tries to explain how some behavior has harmful effects. She says, some teenagers don't know they're doing the wrong things, and I want to help them understand. And then for number 49, it says the future of the environment depends on a particular group of people. That's right next to the same answer. It's our generation that's going to make or break the environment. So we get the answers there. And that's really it. Follow that technique so you make the best use of your time. You can be most efficient when you're working through. And look for the synonymous expressions. It's a test of your, let's say, the depth of knowledge that you have about language, that you know this way of saying something and this way as well. For example, consent can mean permission. If you know these connections, then you'll be able to find the answers quickly. And that's it. That's the last part of the Reading and Use of English paper in the Cambridge First for Schools exam. If you would like more practice on any of these parts, be sure to check out my videos for the Cambridge First exam. The First and First for Schools exams are both B2 level examinations. The only difference between them is that the First for Schools exam is adjusted in terms of content to be more suitable for people in their teens. The difficulty level is exactly the same, and in fact on the certificate, if you pass the exam, it doesn't tell you if you did FCE or FCE for schools. It simply tells you that you have a B2 level qualification. And that's that for now. Thank you very much for joining me. Goodbye.